from the birds, from the forest itself. He turns. You walk back. The return journey is quieter. You are full of seeing, full of understanding. Through the forest, through the fields, across the causeway, through the city gates, through the narrow streets, to the workshop. The room welcomes you back. The familiar smell of feathers, the familiar piles of color, the familiar warmth. Amentekatl goes to his stool. He sits. He takes out the quetzal feathers he bought. He holds them to the light. Beautiful, he says. Perfect. He places them with the other greens. Carefully, reverently, he takes up his tweezers. He begins to work, but now he does not place feathers. He prepares them, trimming, shaping, making them ready. You watch his hands, the way they handle each feather, as if it were precious, as if it were alive. You think of the forest, of the quetzals in the tree, of the blue cotinga, of all the birds giving their beauty. You think of the lake, of the herons and ducks, of the cormorants diving, all of it present in this room, in these feathers, in this work. The afternoon passes. The light through the window shifts. The colors on the walls change. Greens become deeper. Blues become richer. Reds become more intense. Amentekatl works on, his hands never hurrying, his attention never wandering. When the light begins to fade, he stops. He sets down the feathers. He looks at you. You have seen today, he says, where it comes from. The forest, the birds, the giving. Now you understand. The feather is not just a feather. It is the forest. It is the bird. It is the life. You nod. You understand. He rises. He goes to the courtyard. You follow. A small courtyard behind the workshop. A fountain, not large, but water falling. Cool, fresh. He sits on the edge. You sit beside him. The sound of water, the coolness of evening, the peace of day ending. After a long time, he speaks. The water, he says, comes from the mountains too, from the same mountains where the quetzals live. It flows down, through the forest, through the fields, through the city, giving life to all. Everything is connected. The mountains and the birds, the feathers and the water, the work and the life. You sit in silence, watching the water, listening to its fall. After a long time, he rises. He goes inside. You stay a moment longer. The fountain, the first stars appearing, the peace of evening. Then you follow. The lamp is lit. The room is warm. The feathers glow. You go to your mat. You lie down. The feather blanket covers you. It smells of the day, of the forest, of the birds, of the walk. Through the dim light, you see the feathers on their shelves. Each pile a memory, each color a place, each feather a bird that flew. Nasralla's voice returns, soft as the fountain, gentle as the evening. You have walked through the landscape, he says. You have seen where the feathers are born, You have felt the giving of the forest. Now rest. Rest in what you have seen. Rest in what you have learned. Rest in the slow drift of days. The birds sleep in their trees. The forest sleeps in the dark. The city sleeps by the lake. And you sleep with them, part of the landscape, part of the giving, part of the peace. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep. Tomorrow you will see more. Tomorrow you will learn more. Tomorrow you will become more. But tonight there is only this. Only sleep. Only rest. Only the deep calm of the second night. In the feather worker's house. With the colors. With the peace. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep asterisk asterisk. Chapter Roman 3 asterisk. Daily routines of travelers and workers. Close your eyes now. Let the rhythm of the feather workers' day settle into you. Nasrallah is here, his voice soft as the rustle of feathers in a breeze, steady as the daily return of the sun over the lake. He has carried you through the landscape, through the forest and the mountains, and now into the daily round, the work that repeats, the routines that shape a life. You wake to the sound of birds, not the birds in the forest, but the birds of the city, the ones that live on the lake, that nest in the reeds, that call each morning, greeting the sun, greeting the day. You lie still, the feather blanket around you, the morning light soft through the window, the calls of birds outside, ducks and herons, grebes and coots, their voices carrying across the water. You rise. You go to the workroom. Amentekatl is there, but he is not alone. 2 young people work with him, a boy and a girl, siblings perhaps, apprentices, learning the work. The boy is sorting feathers, small piles before him, separating by color, by size, by quality, his hands moving carefully, his brow furrowed with concentration. The girl is preparing glue, mixing powdered orchid bulb with water, stirring slowly, patiently, until it thickens, until it becomes the right consistency. Amentekatl sits on his stool, watching them, occasionally speaking a quiet word, a correction, an encouragement, a blessing. He looks up as you enter, nods, gestures to your mat. You sit, you watch. The morning routine continues. The sorting, the mixing, the preparation. This is the first work of every day, the work that makes all other work possible, the work that is never finished, because it must be done again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. The boy finishes a pile, holds up a feather, a small blue feather, from a cotinga perhaps. Look, he says to his sister, this one is perfect. She glances up, nods, returns to her stirring. The boy places the feather carefully in the pile of perfect blues, the ones that will be used for the most important work. Amentekatl watches, a small smile on his face, the smile of a teacher, seeing his students learn, seeing the work continue. After a long time, the sorting is done. The glue is ready. The morning's preparation is complete. Amentekatl speaks, his voice quiet, but carrying. Now we eat, he says. The young people nod. They wash their hands in a basin of water. They go to a corner of the room where a mat is spread with food. You join them, sitting on the mat. The four of you, around the food. There are tortillas, warm from the comal, wrapped in a cloth, steaming. There are beans, cooked soft, flavored with epazote. There is chili in a small bowl, red and dangerous. There is fruit, papaya and guava, sweet and fresh. There is water in clay cups, cool from the cistern. You eat together, in silence, the way workers eat, the way those who labor together eat, without words, without need. The boy eats quickly, hungry from his work. The girl eats slowly, thoughtfully, her eyes on the feathers on the wall. Amentekatl eats at his own pace, the pace of wisdom, of one who has learned that food is to be savored, not rushed. When the food is finished, the young people rise. They bow to Amentekatl. They return to their work. The boy goes to a frame, already started, a small shield perhaps, or a headband, and begins to place feathers, one by one, copying a pattern laid out before him. The girl takes the glue she made and begins to apply it to another frame, carefully, evenly, preparing it for feathers. Amentekatl sits with you, watching them work. This is the day, he says. Every day the same, every day different. The young ones learn. They watch. They do. They repeat. After many days, after many months, after many years, the motions will be in they. Our bones, the knowledge will be in their hands, and they will be makers too. You watch the young people, their concentration, their care, their patience. The boy places each feather exactly, his tongue between his teeth, his eyes focused, his hands steady. The girl spreads the glue, her stroke even, her attention complete. They are learning, not just the work, but the patience the work requires, the care it demands, the love it deserves. Amentekatl rises. He goes to his own bench. He takes up a piece of work, a large piece, a cloak perhaps, for a lord, for a priest, for someone important. It is already partly done, feathers covering most of it, greens and blues, reds and yellows, forming a pattern, a design, a story. You cannot yet read the story, but you see it beginning. A figure, a god perhaps, emerging from the feathers. He begins to work, placing feathers, one by one, the same motion, the same care, the same patience. You watch him, and you watch the young people, and you feel the rhythm of the workshop, the daily routines, the work that never ends, the repetition that becomes peace. The morning passes, the sun climbs, the light through the window shifts. At midday, the young people stop. They stretch. They go to the courtyard. They sit by the fountain. They talk quietly, their voices low, their laughter soft. Amenteketl stops too. He sets down his tweezers. He looks at you. Come, he says. Let us walk. You follow him out, through the courtyard, past the fountain, into the streets. The city is full now. The routines of the city, matching the routines of the workshop. The farmers bring their produce to the market, walking with baskets on their backs, with goods on their heads. The same walk, day after day, year after year. The fishermen return with their catch, canoes full of fish, silver and shining. The same catch, day after day, year after year. The women grind maize at their macaw days. The same motion, back and forth, day after day, year after year. The men repair the canals, dredging mud, strengthening banks. The same work, day after day, year after year. Everyone working, everyone repeating, everyone part of the great routine, the daily round, the work that holds the world together. Amenteketl walks slowly, watching, nodding to those he knows, greeting some, blessing others. You come to the great temple. It rises before you, massive, stepped, reaching toward the sky. People climb its steps. Priests, supplicants, those who come to pray, to offer, to seek blessing. The same steps, climbed every day, by countless feet, worn smooth by repetition, by routine, by return. Amenteketl stops at the base. He looks up. The temple, he says, is like our work, built stone by stone, step by step, generation by generation. Each stone placed by hands, each step worn by feet, each prayer repeated, again and again. This is how the world continues, by repetition, by routine, by return. You look at the temple, and you see it differently now. Not just a building, but a monument to repetition, to patience, to the daily round. You turn away. You walk back, through the streets, past the workers, past the markets, past the canals, to the workshop. The young people have returned to work. The boy is still placing feathers. The girl is still spreading glue. The same work, the same care, the same patience. Amenteketl returns to his bench. He takes up his tweezers. He continues placing feathers. You sit on your mat. You watch. You let the routines enter you. The afternoon passes. The light changes. The colors on the walls shift. The placing continues. Feather by feather, color by color, pattern by pattern. The glue dries. The feathers hold. The work grows. As the sun begins to sink, the work slows. The boy finishes his row. The girl cleans her brush. Amenteketl places one last feather. Then they stop. The young people wash their hands. They go to the fountain. They sit. They talk quietly, their voices low, their laughter soft. Amentekatl sits on his stool, his hands resting, his eyes closed, his breath slow. You sit on your mat, feeling the day, feeling the routines, feeling the peace. When the light is almost gone, the young people rise. They bow to Amentekatl. They leave, their footsteps fading in the courtyard. You are alone with him, the master, the maker, the keeper of feathers. He opens his eyes. He looks at you. You have seen the day, he says. The routines, the repetitions, the work that never ends. This is our life. This is our prayer. This is our peace. Tomorrow it will be the same. And the next day, and the next. And that is enough. That is more than enough. That is everything. He rises. He goes to the courtyard. You follow. The fountain falls. The water dances. The stars are beginning to appear. He sits on the edge. You sit beside him. The sound of water. The coolness of evening. The peace of day ending. After a long time, he speaks. The fountain, he says, is like our work. It falls the same way every day, every night, always the same, always different. The water is never the same water, but the fall is the same fall. The sound is the same sound. The peace is the same peace. This is what we learn from the daily round. That repetition is not boredom. It is the shape of life, the pattern of existence, the way of all things. He falls silent, staring into the water. You stare too, feeling the truth of his words, feeling the peace of routine, the comfort of return. After a long time, he rises. He goes inside. You stay a moment longer. The fountain, the stars, the peace of evening. Then you follow. The lamp is lit. The room is warm. The feathers glow. You go to your mat. You lie down. The feather blanket covers you. It smells of the day, of feathers and glue, of tortillas and beans, of routines. Through the dim light, you see the work on its frames, growing, slowly, patiently, feather by feather. You see the young people's work, small beside the masters, but growing, learning, becoming. Nasralla's voice returns, soft as the fountain, gentle as the evening. You have lived a day in the routines, he says. You have seen the work that never ends, the tasks that repeat, the motions that return. Now rest, rest in the routines, rest in the repetition, rest in the knowledge that tomorrow the same things will happen, the same work will be done, the same peace will be here. The young people will come. They will sort and mix and place. They will learn and grow and become. Amentekatl will sit at his bench, his hands steady, his eyes sure, his patterns growing, and you will watch, and you will learn, and you will become part of it all. But tonight there is only sleep, only the deep rest after the day's routine, only the peace of the returning night. Breathe in the smell of feathers. Breathe in the smell of glue. Breathe in the smell of routines. Breathe out the day. Breathe out the watching. Breathe out the becoming. And sleep. The routines will be here tomorrow. The work will be here tomorrow. The peace will be here tomorrow. And you will be here too. Part of it all. Held by it all. Rested for it all. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep in the feather worker's house. With the colors. With the routines. With the peace. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep asterisk asterisk. Chapter IV. Food, warmth, tools. Animals. Close your eyes now. Let the deep comforts of the feather worker's world surround you. Nasrallah is here, his voice warm as the morning tortilla fresh from the comel, gentle as the fire that warms the workshop. He has carried you through the routines, through the daily round, and now into the heart of what sustains, the food that feeds, the warmth that keeps, the tools that make, the animals that give. You wake to the smell of cooking, not from the workshop, but from the house next door. The smell of maize cooking, of beans simmering, of chilies roasting, the smells of morning, the smells of life. You lie still, the feather blanket around you, the smells filling you, waking you gently, like a hand on your shoulder. You rise, you go to the workroom. Amentekatl is there, but he is not working. He is sitting with a tray before him. Food, tortillas, beans, chilies, fruit, a clay cup of addle, warm and sweet. He looks up as you enter, nods, gestures to the mat beside him. You sit. He pushes the tray toward you. Eat, he says. You eat. The tortillas are warm, soft. They smell of the comel, of the fire, of the hands that patted them into shape. The beans are rich, cooked with episode, flavorful, comforting. The chilies are hot. They wake your mouth, your body, your spirit. The fruit is sweet. Papaya, soft and orange, melting on your tongue. The addle is warm, thick with maize, sweetened with honey. It fills you, comforts you, holds you. You eat together, in silence, the way workers eat, the way those who labor together eat, without words, without need. When the food is finished, he pours more addle. You hold the warm cup, your hands around it, the heat seeping into you. He speaks, his voice quiet, fitting the morning. Food, he says, is the first gift. Without it, there is no work, no feathers, no art. The farmers give us maize. The bean growers give us beans. The chili growers give us fire. The fruit growers give us sweetness. The beekeepers give us honey. All of them, part of the work, part of the feather, though they never touch it. You think of this, the web of giving, the connections, the way the farmer in his field, and the woman at her comel, and the beekeeper with his bees, all come together to feed one man who works with feathers, who creates beauty, who prays with his hands. You finish your addle. He rises. He goes to the fire.